So this morning the goal is to get everything primed here, maybe sanded and prepped. Yesterday we did our doors, got them all set up and started painting. And we can see this setup I have here. I put the doors actually on these conduits, and I use what they call teacup hooks, and I drill hole in the either bottom or top of the door. Now it depends. If the door is an upper, I put the hole in the top, and if it's a lower, I put the holes in the bottom. You could fill these and sand them out and things, but you can get away with usually just doing that and leaving the hole. Anyway, so I put these teacup hooks and I hang them here, and then I can just spray them in place. And I don't spray them here, but in this case I set up to do them outside. So you could probably see that set-up. I basically straddle two 2x. I've masked things to keep overspray from being on the things I care about. Put the drop down here. And by myself, I can move this rod back and forth. So I get it, spray one side, and of course I want to shoot away from the house. So then I take it and I turn around and spray the other side. Once it's painted, I can pick it up and move it back into here. And here's where it dries. So we've used an oil-based primer. I use a product called Coverall. I find that the oil, to me, sticks better and sands better. You know, it sands up real nice and smooth. Fills the grain good, covers stain, sticks to areas that might be a problem. Even though I do take the time to sand all my surfaces, as you can see here, I don't know if you can tell, you know, I'm trying to get a good tooth as well as smoothing areas, and that way it all not only sticks good, but you know, the surfaces look smooth. Anyway, so in times past and other situations, I've sprayed these cabinets. I think it'll be just quicker and it'll look fine just to brush these. To me, the critical point is the doors. Once you get the doors on the cabinets, that's what you see. So if the doors are sprayed and they look perfect, that's really all you focus on. If there's a little bit of brush marks behind the door here, it's not noticeable. But this product I'm using, it's a modified urethane, water-based urethane. So it levels really nice. It's a really hard product. It's called Evershield by Dunn Edwards. So I'll keep you in the loop. You can see that as we make progress. I'm going to get started on brushing this primer onto these cabinets, and I'm only doing the outside. This inside stays as it is. I'll take it to here and maybe just to the very initial underside. The proper way to paint it would be to start inside, which is here from the top, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and work your way across, just the inside. Then on the outside, I would do this one first, then this one, and this one. You see your overlaps would go this way, then you'd be correcting it. Your overlap would be here, right? So then you'd come down here and here. I know I didn't do it that way, but again, like I said, it's fine with this product. I am just taking this edge down here a little bit. Often I'll paint the whole bottom if I'm on a job where the bottoms look pretty bad. But these aren't too bad. I'm just going to take this to this edge here. And really, as long as I keep this edge sharp, rarely do you get your head under here. You might do it to clean it. And I think I can get away with that. I always say it's not about putting paint on. It's about paint taken. A professional knows how to take paint off. Meaning you know how to take it off surfaces that shouldn't be. Because even as much experience as someone might have, you still get into situations where you've got to clean up your mess, so to speak. Okay, so just completed priming the cabinets. Just a quick overview. Just primed them up white. So the color is going to be gray. You can tint your primer, but you have to do 2 coats anyway, and 2 coats usually cover just fine. So I'm not concerned about that. My next step here is to sand as well as fill holes. So anywhere that I've done some modification, I always prime first. Here's some damage done by somebody. I always prime first, and then it kind of shows up the problems. I'll fill the holes, sand, and then caulk. I'll caulk all these edges here, all the way around. Anything that's kind of open, you see it now that it's primed. Just even little things like this, as well as on the sides. They make a molding strip that fills that, but since I'm painting, it's easy enough just to caulk that. This here now is the tedious part. So I primed these up. They're all dry. It's the next day, and they need a good sanding. Now, I know most people don't like sanding. Sanding is what makes for a very good finish. Because I feel this kind of got a roughness to it. I like to use a sanding sponge, especially on cabinets, because of all the shapes. And you can just kind of simply run it into the molding, and it really doesn't take much. I always say just 3 times. 1, 2, 3. As long as you cover it, every square inch of this, at least give it just a quick sanding over. So I've done those edges, and I did I always say as long as it's sanded, see it, and now when I feel it, I always describe it as being soft. Powders up, knocks off the roughness. And I just trust my hand. If it feels good, I know I've sanded it well enough. Now see, this is the advantage of the oil primer. If we used just paint, there's no way you would have got this to sand up smooth. But this oil has a nice, it's brittle actually, so it soaks in, and then, see that's, at the same time, I don't want to sand it so much that I sand the primer off, right? So we're just trying to, there, so I've got this whole front side done, and I'll do the back. There, it's all set. Now what I usually like to do too, I'm going to set up the vacuum, and I'll vacuum this before I hang it up, and it'll be ready to spray. So once I get through this rack, I'll just be able to take them out and spray them one by one. All right? Well, as you can see, we've got our doors, our cabinet doors all ready to go. I've sanded them, vacuumed them, and wiped them down. I'm going to take them from here and go out and spray them one rack at a time, and I'll show you that process. I've set up my sprayer. It's a Graco. It's a little 390. Probably the perfect little size, easy to carry around. And I'm going to run a 411 tip. So basically an 8-inch wide fan. 11 is the orifice is cut way down. Probably the smallest regular tip you can get. And it just gives a nice controllable fan. Very, very important is sanding. I said it before with the primer, and even with this final coat, as much as someone might say, oh, it's smooth, what do I need to sand it for? One last going over always helps. And it's not like I have to sand a lot. In this case, I just go up and down maybe twice. What that does is, it gives the final opportunity for my eyes also to cover the surface. And I'm not just doing it for my eyes, but both. The sandpaper would knock off any little thing that's on there, maybe a piece of dirt or something that wasn't just right. It also gives the next coat of tooth, it dulls down that shiny coat. So it's going to help it adhere better. It's going to be a smoother surface. And I'm also looking with my eyes, if I see a little miss or a hole or a crack, it gives me that last opportunity to do that repair, which in every case there always is. I found a spot to caulk there, 2 holes over here. Maybe to some that's not important, but when you want a really nice job, I just can't help myself, to be honest with you, when it comes to this sort of thing. Part of the prep. Prep is what makes a good job. All right. Well, this is pretty much it for the cabinet finishes. Some beat up old cabinets. Now looking pretty new. I just wanted to wrap it up. I know it's been a couple weeks in the making, working on the cabinets, but yeah, I just appreciate everyone commenting, watching, and subscribing. Our next project, next big project, I got a lot of little things I'm trying to take care of, but the thing that I'm not sure about, and it might be worth watching, is me taking on these granite countertops. I mentioned it before, I got some cheap granite, and I've got to cut it. I got to cut it out for the sink, I got to cut it to length, I got to glue it down, and hopefully do this all without breaking it. So yeah, keep in touch, keep watching, and I always appreciate any feedback. All right, everyone, take care. See you later.